Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into something I think a lot of us experience, maybe more often than we'd like to admit: brain fog.
That feeling, like your brain's just running on low power.
Exactly. That mental sluggishness, where memories feel just out of reach and focusing feels like, a real chore. And we're not just talking about being a bit tired or distracted. This can feel like a genuine disruption,
Yeah.
Leaves you feeling drained, struggling to think clearly.
Right, and it's important to say up front, it's not technically a medical condition on its own.
No, but the symptoms are very real. That poor memory, trouble concentrating, just feeling mentally off.
Definitely. Very real impact.
So our mission today is to kind of unpack that, get beyond the surface level, understand what's really driving it.
And crucially, find some actionable things you can actually do about it.
Yes, actionable insights to help you regain that mental clarity. Because think about it, forgetting things mid-sentence.
Or losing focus in meetings. Happens to the best of us.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or just feeling overwhelmed by simple, everyday tasks. It spirals, doesn't it? Into stress, frustration.
Lack of motivation, yeah.
You deserve to feel sharp, clear, confident. So let's figure out how to get you there.
Okay. Where do we start?
Well, it's tempting to look for complicated answers first, but I think we need to start with the basics, those daily habits we maybe overlook.
The foundations, makes sense.
And the big one, the unavoidable one: sleep.
Yes, sleep.
We all know it's important, but just how critical is it for, actually processing information and thinking clearly, beyond just not feeling tired?
Okay, so what's truly fascinating here is that sleep isn't just passive rest for the brain, it's active maintenance.
Active maintenance. How so?
Well, during deep sleep, your brain's glial cells, think of them as the support crew, they actually shrink a bit.
They shrink.
Yeah, which creates more space between neurons. And this allows cerebrospinal fluid to wash through more effectively.
Like a rinsing cycle.
Kind of. It flushes out metabolic waste products that build up during the day, things like amyloid beta.
The stuff linked to Alzheimer's.
Precisely. So poor sleep means that detox process is less efficient. It's not just about feeling groggy the next day, it's about long-term brain health too. The brain literally needs that time to reset.
Wow. Okay, so it's a physical cleaning process almost that really drives home how fundamental it is. But what about people who are getting, say, 7 or 8 hours but still feel foggy? Is it just about quantity?
Not necessarily. Quality is arguably more important than quantity.
Right.
You could be in bed for 8 hours, but if your sleep is constantly interrupted, maybe by noise, light, or even an undiagnosed issue like sleep apnea, you're not getting enough of those crucial deep sleep stages where that clearing process happens.
So the time in bed doesn't equal quality rest.
Exactly. So beyond just having a consistent bedtime, which is important, you can look at optimizing your sleep environment.
Like making the room really dark.
Yes, darkness is key, but also temperature. Studies suggest a cooler room, maybe around 60 to 67 Fahrenheit, actually helps promote deeper sleep.
Interesting. Cooler is better.
It seems so. And the screens. We have to talk about screens.
Ugh, the dreaded blue light.
It's not just that it keeps you awake. That blue light actively suppresses melatonin production. Melatonin is your body's signal that it's time to wind down and sleep.
So using your phone in bed is basically telling your brain, nope, not bedtime yet.
Pretty much. So creating that cool, dark, quiet sanctuary and ditching screens well before bed can make a huge difference in how sharp you feel the next day.
Okay, sleep hygiene is clearly non-negotiable. But, our mental state isn't just about sleep. Our brains are so tied to how we feel, which brings us to stress and anxiety, depression.
Huge players in brain fog.
These aren't just feelings, are they? They have a real physical impact on our thinking.
They absolutely do. It's physiological. When you're chronically stressed, your body is flooded with hormones like cortisol.
The fight or flight hormone.
Right. Useful in short bursts, but when it's constantly high, it directly interferes with your prefrontal cortex.
Which is responsible for
higher level thinking. Things like attention, working memory, decision-making. High cortisol makes it harder to focus, harder to pull up memories. Basically, harder to think clearly.
So it's like a chemical roadblock in the brain.
That's a good way to put it. Think of your brain needing calm conditions to operate optimally. Chronic stress is like trying to do complex calculations during an earthquake.
Huh. Yeah, that paints a picture. Explains why finding your keys feels impossible after a stressful week.
Exactly. The cognitive resources just aren't as available.
So what helps combat that?
Well, practices like meditation are really powerful, not just for calming down in the moment, but studies show it can actually change brain pathways over time, making you less reactive to stress.
Rewiring the brain, essentially.
In a way, yes. And therapy, of course, provides specific tools for managing anxiety or depression, which can lift that cognitive cloud.
And exercise. I always hear exercise helps stress.
Oh, definitely. Exercise is fantastic. It helps burn off excess stress hormones, boosts mood-lifting brain chemicals. It really supports a clearer mind.
Okay, so managing stress isn't just nice to have for mental clarity, it's essential. Got it. But the brain also needs fuel, right? What we eat and drink must play a role.
A massive role. It's not just about getting enough calories. Your brain is incredibly hungry for specific nutrients.
Like what?
Well, B vitamins are crucial, especially B12, for nerve function and energy. And healthy fats, particularly omega-3 fatty acids, they're literally building blocks for brain cells.
So deficiencies could directly cause fogginess.
Absolutely. If the brain doesn't have the raw materials it needs, performance suffers. But it's also about avoiding things that actively harm it.
Like,
Excessive alcohol is a big one. It's a neurotoxin. It disrupts brain signaling.
okay.
And a sedentary lifestyle is surprisingly bad, too. Less movement means less blood flow to the brain.
Ah, interesting connection.
And maybe the simplest one, dehydration. Even mild dehydration can significantly impair focus and cognitive function. Your brain needs water.
Right. Seems obvious, but easy to forget.
It really is. So the actionable advice here is pretty straightforward but powerful. Focus on a balanced diet, lots of whole foods, fruits, vegetables, those healthy fats.
Less processed stuff, less sugar.
Exactly. Make regular movement a priority, even just walking. And keep that water bottle handy throughout the day. Stay hydrated.
Simple steps, but they directly feed your brain's ability to function clearly. Makes sense.
So we've covered those lifestyle foundations, sleep, stress, nutrition, but sometimes the fog goes deeper, right? It's tied into our overall physical health.
Yeah, let's shift gears a bit. How do underlying health conditions fit into this picture?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, a lot of health issues can manifest as brain fog. It's actually a common symptom across many different conditions.
Yes.
Well, things like chronic fatigue syndrome or ME/CFS, profound fatigue is the hallmark, but cognitive issues are huge too. Multiple sclerosis, MS, where nerve signals are disrupted. Fibromyalgia often involves widespread pain and cognitive difficulties, sometimes called fibrofog. Then you have things like thyroid problems. The thyroid regulates metabolism everywhere, including the brain. Diabetes, where blood sugar fluctuations and inflammation can impact brain function, and various autoimmune diseases, where the body's immune system is mistakenly attacking itself.
Wow, that's a diverse list. Here's where it gets really interesting for me. How can so many different kinds of conditions all lead to that same foggy feeling? What's the common link?
That's a great question. Often the common threads are things like systemic inflammation.
Inflammation throughout the body.
Exactly. When your immune system is chronically activated, it releases inflammatory messengers that can cross into the brain and interfere with how neurons communicate.
Oh.
Or it could be metabolic issues, problems with how your body, and therefore your brain, uses energy. Or direct impacts on nerve function itself, like an MS. When these core systems are disrupted, the brain just can't operate at peak efficiency. Hence the fog.
So the brain is really sensitive to the body's overall state of balance.
Very much so. And it's not just the conditions themselves. Sometimes the treatments can cause fog.
Medications.
Yes, certain medications are known culprits. Drugs for pain, anxiety, even some allergy meds or sleep aids can have cognitive side effects.
And chemo brain is a well-known example.
A classic example. Chemotherapy drugs, while life-saving, can directly affect brain cell function, leading to that persistent mental slowness during and sometimes after treatment.
So if someone suspects their medication might be causing brain fog, what should they do? Just stop taking it?
No, definitely not. Never stop a prescribed medication without talking to your doctor.
Right. Important point.
The crucial step is to have that conversation. Explain your concerns. There might be alternative medications, or maybe the dosage can be adjusted, but it needs to be done under medical supervision.
Okay, good advice. What about natural changes in the body? Hormones, for instance, do they play a role?
Oh, absolutely. Hormones are incredibly powerful messengers that influence brain function significantly.
Like during menopause.
Mm-hmm.
I hear women talk about brain fog then.
Exactly. The decline in estrogen during menopause is strongly linked to changes in memory and that feeling of mental fogginess. Estrogen plays roles in neurotransmitter activity, brain energy use. Its decline can really be felt cognitively.
So what helps of that?
Well, those same healthy lifestyle habits we discussed, sleep, diet, exercise, stress management, can definitely help manage hormonal brain fog. And for some women, hormone replacement therapy under a doctor's care might be an option to discuss.
Okay. And beyond hormones, you mentioned inflammation earlier. Is there such a thing as inflammation in the brain itself?
Yes, that's called neuroinflammation.
Yeah.
And it's a really hot area of research.
What causes it?
It can happen after infections. We're seeing this clearly with long COVID or even due to chronic stress or poor diet. Basically, the brain's own immune cells can become overactive.
And that causes fog.
It seems to. They release chemicals that can dampen down neural communication, making thinking feel sluggish. It's thought to be a key factor in post-viral syndromes.
Fascinating. And I've also heard about the gut-brain connection. Does that fit in here?
It absolutely does. The gut-brain axis. It's this incredible two-way street. The bacteria in your gut can actually produce neuroactive substances that influence your brain.
Seriously. Gut bacteria affecting my thoughts.
It sounds wild, but the evidence is growing. An unhealthy gut microbiome, what's called dysbiosis, can contribute to inflammation and potentially impact mood and cognition, including brain fog. It highlights how interconnected everything is. Your gut health can literally influence your mental clarity.
Mind-blowing stuff. Okay, so that gives us a really good picture of the internal factors. Let's talk about some specific situations and important distinctions. Post-viral fog, like with long COVID, is something so many people are dealing with now.
It really is. Acknowledging that widespread experience of feeling mentally foggy long after the virus itself is gone is important. It's not just in your head.
What are the specific symptoms people report with that?
Based on what people describe, it often includes real confusion, like disorientation, significant forgetfulness, trouble concentrating for any length of time, a deep mental fatigue different from just being tired, slowed thinking, feeling like your processing speed is down, and just feeling easily overwhelmed.
That sounds debilitating.
It really can be. It shows how profoundly a viral infection can disrupt cognitive function, sometimes long term.
Okay, and this brings up a really important question, maybe a fear for some people. Is brain fog, is it an early sign of something like dementia? How do you tell the difference?
That's a critical distinction, and it's understandable why people worry.
Yeah.
The key difference is usually trajectory and cause. Brain fog is often temporary. It tends to fluctuate. It often has identifiable triggers like poor sleep, stress, or illness, and it usually improves when those triggers are addressed.
Okay, and dementia?
Dementia involves a progressive decline in cognitive function that gets worse over time. It impacts memory, thinking, language, judgment, often to the point where it interferes significantly with daily life. It's caused by underlying brain disease.
So fog is more like a temporary disruption. Dementia is a progressive decline.
Generally, yes. But, and this is crucial if you are experiencing persistent cognitive symptoms, or if they're getting worse and you're just not sure.
See your doctor.
Absolutely. Talk to your doctor, get a proper evaluation. Don't try to self-diagnose something like this. Early assessment is always best.
Excellent advice. Okay, let's pull all this together. We've talked about causes. Now let's focus on the path back to clarity. What are the core practical steps someone can take, starting now, to get rid of brain fog?
Right, the action plan. Based on everything we've discussed, the cornerstones really are prioritize good quality sleep.
Make that bedroom a sanctuary.
Yes, eat a balanced, brain-healthy diet.
Fueling the engine properly.
Get regular physical activity.
Good for stress, good for blood flow.
And actively manage stress levels. Those are the big four.
Okay. Anything else to add to that core list?
Definitely hydration. Don't underestimate the power of water. And consciously limit things that we know aren't great for the brain, like excessive alcohol and ultra-processed foods.
Right. Cut down on the negatives, too.
And the final crucial piece, if the fog persists, despite these efforts, or it's really impacting your life, go see your doctor to rule out any underlying medical causes.
Got it. So just to reiterate, for anyone still trying to grasp it, what does brain fog actually feel like? Can we summarize that feeling?
Yeah, it's like that mental cloudiness, isn't it? Difficulty focusing, trouble remembering things, thinking feels slow or effortful.
Even confused, maybe? Tired even if you slept? Easily distracted?
All of those. Like there's a filter between you and your thoughts, or your brain's just wading through mud.
Good description. Okay, last big question. Is brain fog dangerous? Should people be seriously worried if they experience it?
Generally, the fog itself isn't dangerous in an immediate sense. It's usually not life-threatening on its own.
Okay, that's reassuring.
However, and this is the important but, it can be a signal, a symptom of an underlying health issue that might need attention, potentially something serious.
So it's a warning sign, potentially?
It can be your body's way of saying, hey, something's not quite right here. That's why persistent, severe, or worsening brain fog really warrants that conversation with a healthcare provider. Get it checked out properly.
That makes perfect sense. It's not necessarily dangerous itself, but don't ignore it if it hangs around.
Exactly.
Which is actually quite empowering, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the good news, really, is that most causes can be managed. You're not just stuck with it.
Precisely. Understanding the potential causes is the first step to taking action.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener? Hopefully, you now have a much clearer picture of why your mind might feel cloudy sometimes.
And more than just understanding, you have a roadmap, tools and strategies to work towards better mental clarity.
It's about feeling sharper, more focused, more like yourself again. That's the goal.
You know what really stands out to me from this whole discussion is just how interconnected everything is.
Yeah.
Sleep, diet, stress, gut health, hormones, underlying conditions. They aren't separate issues when it comes to brain function. They all weave together. It really shows that brain health is deeply tied to your overall well-being.
That's a great final thought.
And maybe, the next step for someone listening isn't trying to make one huge change. Perhaps it's about making small, consistent adjustments in a couple of these areas we talked about.
Little steps, big impact.
Exactly. Those small efforts can compound and really start to lift that fog over time.
I love that. Very encouraging. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into brain fog. We really hope you take these insights, apply them, and start feeling that mental sharpness and confidence return.
Absolutely.
We look forward to our next deep dive with you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.